Hello and welcome to Career Bytes. I'm Liz Sedova and I'm here in Washington, D.C. with Lauren Flaherty, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of Nortel. Thank you very much for being here with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Can I ask about your position at Nortel?
Sure. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Nortel, and basically what that means is everything that you think of around marketing, so whether it's advertising or direct mail or branding, internal communications, external communications, those are areas that I have responsibility for.
And have you always been interested in this field?
Yeah, actually, right from school. In college, I was interested in this field. And marketing struck me as a really exciting way to educate people about things that I was interested in. And I graduated in 1980, a long time ago. And at that point, technology was really just starting to become kind of a juggernaut in terms of its impact to society and business. So I wanted to work for a technology company, and right out of school, I went and worked for IBM.
What does the role of being a woman play into being in a male-dominated society?
Well, both at Nortel and IBM, these are male-oriented cultures, largely because of the background of sciences, engineering, development, etc. It's changed a lot, certainly in the time frame that I've been in business, but historically there have been more men, certainly in more senior positions. I guess the way I would look at it is that part of being in a male-dominated culture, it encouraged me to think more like a male. And so I really took the best examples of what I thought were really good career guidance, what I thought were, the right kind of decision-making attributes, et cetera, from both, my women colleagues, but also my male colleagues in particular, because they seemed to have a certain clarity about how they made decisions that, frankly, I found really motivating. So I copied a lot.
Has your family encouraged you to go into a technological field?
Well, I can talk a little bit about my family now because I have a son who's 20 and a daughter who's 12. And what I would say about how they think about it, and my husband too, is they see technology as being really relevant. And so there are a lot of different things that you could market, right? You could market soda, you could market pharmaceuticals, you could market technology. I think they find marketing technology particularly relevant because it has so much impact on business, how we communicate, how we collaborate, and as you guys would know, certainly in this generation, how we interact with one another. I mean, my kids are giving me a whole introduction to things that I didn't know were going on the web that, frankly, take it to the next level. So, yeah, I think they're pretty jazzed about the fact that I'm in a space that they see as very contemporary.
Do you have a piece of technology in your day-to-day life that you can't live without?
I can't live without instant messaging. I'm sort of a real-time person, so much to the dismay of my colleagues, I think sometimes I just like to be able to have spontaneous interaction. It was something that we became sort of virally attached to in my past jobs, and also at Nortel I was really excited to see how folks used MCS, because again, there's a sort of necessity to move quickly in a technology company, and these instant messaging tools really give you a great way of having a dialogue, but it's that instantaneous nature that's really appealing to me.
Have there been any obstacles that you've had to overcome to get to your position?
I think I've been really fortunate. I know folks, have different hurdles, male or female. They have different hurdles along the way. But I've been really fortunate because I've always had a great network of support from colleagues, from people who were more senior than me, people who kind of championed me. And I think I've been really pretty distinguished in that. I haven't had that many hurdles. I would have to say I consider myself very lucky. I work hard, but I consider myself very lucky.
What do you think about the concept of Nortel LearnIT?
I think it's fabulous. In fact, I've only learned about it just recently because I've been with Nortel just about 8 weeks now. And what's really compelling about it, and I don't have the precise word to put on it, but so much of what you find in today's market, both from the standpoint of education and business, is the ability to conceptualize ideas, package them, and communicate them. And what I was really impressed by when I saw the LearnIT initiative is that it's designed to integrate all the elements that you need to really be successful, no matter what career you choose, right? If you're, going to go and be an educator, you still need to get these thoughts across, right? But in a really contemporary, relevant way, or you're going to lose the interest of your kids. If you're in business and you're selling, and marketing is selling, public relations is selling, sales, etc., you're always putting ideas out there. So I think the notion of helping, students really hone those skills and become savvy about it's not just the quality of your content, but it's the quality of how you get your message across. I think that's really powerful.
You mentioned that you've been working with Nortel for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
What convinced you to come work for Nortel?
Well, Nortel's a really interesting company because Nortel is, the largest telecommunications provider in North America. And what struck me was that it was a company with incredible assets, but from a marketing point of view, it also struck me that there was a gem there, a jewel, that hadn't really been fully leveraged. And when you do what I do for a living, you love the idea of being able to take something that really hasn't realized kind of its full potential and take it to the next level. So I think what was really enticing to me was sort of the challenge, and it's, there's certainly challenges in doing that, but the opportunity to take a great company with great assets, talent, people, and really show the world what Nortel's about and its capabilities.
Where did you work before?
I worked for IBM for 25 years before coming to Nortel. Joined IBM right out of school. Interesting parallels between Nortel and IBM, interesting parallels in terms of culture, interesting parallels in terms of orientation, again, math and sciences, engineering, male-oriented cultures. The other thing I also found that was attractive to me in terms of parallels is that IBM went through challenges in the early 90s, and they weren't dissimilar to some of the challenges that Nortel faces, and so I find myself really in a great position to leverage what I learned at IBM and try to apply it effectively here at Nortel.
Would you have any advice for students that are either in high school or college going into the technological field?
I would really encourage you guys to get into LearnIt, and I'll tell you why. The art of people who are effective in technology is very much grounded in the people who understand what the technology can do, but then really importantly, express it. And a great quote that I heard once was, it's not about brilliant technology, it's about technology brilliantly applied. And that's both in the context of applications, the actual solution that it enables for a school, for a healthcare facility, et cetera, but it's also in how you communicate it. So I think LearnIt, affords such an incredible opportunity for students, whether they're in high school or college, to really practice the art of translating what is a complex topic area, right? But making it real, making it relevant, and frankly getting people jazzed about it, because if they are, they'll embrace it, they'll take to it more. In my case, hopefully they'll buy more. But I think it's the art of communication which makes it such an exciting area. So yeah, I'd say do the LearnIt thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any role models?
Oh gosh, yeah. I have many. My mom was one because she was enormously encouraging to me and always said, don't worry about the barriers, find a way. And it's funny, when I was in high school, I used to think, find a way. She will plague me with these words for my life. But now when I talk to people on my team at work, I find myself, using this expression, you find a way. The best people that you work with, the most talented people, are the ones who find a way. And sometimes that's despite incredible obstacles, but sometimes it's just being resourceful and creative and thinking out of the box. So I do have many, but I would single out my mom because she branded in my head, find a way.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
I really appreciate it.
I'm Liz Sadova. Tune in next time for Career Bytes.